Hey everybody, Angelo from the T-Squad family, T-Squad RVing. Welcome to our channel. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to do a little bit of tutorial and maintenance on the Hensley Hitch. I will walk you through with what I do, and stay tuned and here we go. Alright everyone, if you have not subscribed, please do so by hitting that subscribe button and go a step further and hit that bell and you will be notified for future videos like this. So here we are in North Carolina. We have been here for about 2 months and we checked out of our 6-week campground where we were staying so we can close on our house. And after closing, we parked our RV at a RV storage facility, and we're able to come here and do some things, maintenance, clean the RV, make sure everything's all set for our next camping trip. Okay, so we purchased our Hensley Hitch a few years ago. Check that video out of the installation right here, and it'll tell you how we installed our Hensley Hitch. We actually did it twice. The second time was a breeze, but check that video out right here, and that'll walk you through the step-by-step. Also, we have a video on hitching and unhitching, and you can also check that video right here. And I also will put the links in the description below. I don't think we've ever done maintenance to this Hensley except tighten the bolts under it that you have to do the torque every 200-300 miles. I think we even went 400 at one time, which is not recommended. So I don't think we've ever done maintenance to this Hensley, so it is a well overdue maintenance that we are going to be doing to it. It may be a light maintenance to some, it may be even heavy duty to others. So but with this Hensley, we went all the way in Michigan, all the way to the UP, all the way wrapped around Michigan. I would say at least 5,000 miles, and then all the way down to North Carolina. So it is definitely due, and before this season begins for us, we are going to do the maintenance. We have a 4-state trip coming up. We are heading to Tennessee. Then from Tennessee, we're heading to South Carolina. From South Carolina, we are heading back to North Carolina. From North Carolina, we're heading to Kentucky, then up north to Michigan, where we will end our long multi-state trip. So I do want to call out on a few channels here, and you know, I was going to do a video on the pressure on your tires, on your RV tires, but I gotta tell you, you can't go wrong. Check out Chris's video from Why Wait. He goes over the exact pressure your tires should be. I think it's mainly fifth wheels. It might be referring to other RVs as well, but check his video out. I'll put that link in the description below. But check Chris out from Why Wait. He is very detailed about the pressure on the tires on the RV. So I won't go over the pressure on the tires, and we'll just leave that up to Chris from Why Wait. Also, if you want to laugh and smile and have a great day, check out Alvin from Max Your Journey. What a wonderful dad. Great videos comes out of his channel, and it just makes you smile. And sometimes he goes over his part of his RV and things to do on RVs as well. So both of those channels are wonderful. I would suggest you check them out, and I'll also put the link in the description below. So you got Chris and then Alvin as well. So check those out. All right, so we are going to begin by taking off the cover. And you notice my wonderful level that I always keep here, because remember, if you go over my videos, my Hensley videos of how to attach and detach, this level is very important on the process of attaching the Hensley to your vehicle, how it should be, level this way, and it also depends on the slope that you're at as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin by taking this lock off, and I always recommend that you lock your Hensley. Listen, anybody could snap this up, drop it, pull these pins out, and remove this Hensley, which is very expensive, and then you just lost to Hensley. So I always make sure, at least this could slow people down of taking it. So let's remove that lock. One thing I do is I always keep all my keys, anything to do with my RV, I keep a spare. I keep all of them on one keychain, and Sandy keeps a whole nother spare with her at all times, because you never know if you're gonna lose yours, and at least she has hers with her. So let's go ahead and unlock this. So I'm going to make sure that all my cables are still good and they're not corroded. That's the number one thing I'll check. And if you notice that Hensley gives you an extension that you're gonna need to attach to your truck, because the Grand Design, or I don't know what kind of rig you're carrying, but most likely it's not going to reach. And I did not put the extension on one time, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just try it. Well, I ripped out my receiver outlet out of my truck. It wasn't bad, I just had to snap it back in, but that's the whole point of Hensley giving you this extension to use. All right, so what we're gonna do first is, second I should say, so we have to remove this pin right here. Well, it is so tight that you are not gonna be able to get it removed unless you unscrew this. So we are going to unscrew this one, unscrew that one. We are going to loosen up the tension that goes here and here. We're gonna pop these pins out because we need to do something very important to this Hensley hitch. So what we're gonna do is we are going to, I've always said to remove these because it's so much easier to work when the propane cover is off. So I'm going to untighten this. And usually after a couple turns you're able to untighten it by hand. And you see how loose that is? So once I loosen the tension here, you'll see how loose that Hensley, the tension bar is. So we'll leave that one. Now let's walk on to this side right here. And I'm going to do the same. Basically, ooh, this one's already. So we're going to unscrew that one. And that one's loose as well. So we're gonna pop these pins out right here. You always wanna make sure you keep them close by so you don't lose them. Hensley does give you a bag of extra parts, but hopefully you never have to break into that bag. But I always carry the bag with me everywhere we go, just in case. So we unloosen the tension bar here. We're gonna leave this laying right there. We're going to pull this pin right there and knock that out right there, just like that. Replace this on this side right here. So now we are going to pop these pins out right here. You know, I told myself I was gonna wear gloves, and guess what? I did not. So we're gonna pop these pins out. We're gonna place it right here so we know where they are. Now, so this should be free. Okay, and let's go do the other side right now. Put that right there. We'll pop this pin out, and this should be free as well. And you'll see that this is just floating. I'll lose that. This is just floating, which it should be. And now, I don't like to remove these, but you see that right there? You have to grease that, and that's what we're going to do right now. Wow. Yep, they were removed. So now that these wonderful bars fell off, you'll notice that how much grease is on there. That's because we greased it pretty good. And you know what? We never hear the clicking, we never hear the rubbing, the grinding when we're towing and turning because we greased it so well. So make sure you grease these, and I'll show you what I do in a few minutes here. So I'm gonna remove and put these aside. Okay, so I put a 5-gallon bucket under here. You can do anything, but you can actually get some help. Since I'm by myself, I'm gonna put a 5-gallon bucket under there. So when I detach this, it automatically falls on the 5-gallon bucket. So if you notice, it just fell on the 5-gallon bucket. The Hensley is detached from the RV. Wow. We are going to move it out of the way here. Yep. So now that we removed the Hensley from the RV, this is why we are removing it. We are going to clean this up. We are going to clean those up, and we're going to re-grease them and just put plenty of grease, and we're gonna clean the inside of here as well. Now's a good time to wear my gloves. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll end up cleaning this with a rag. I'll remove all the grime and all the old grease off of it, and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. We've been to Silver Creek, Michigan, and we were on the sand dunes, and even though we were the RV resort was like a mile from the sand dunes, we still saw sand in the roads. We still saw our vehicle was like a dusting of dirt, which is the sand dirt, and anything gets in here. Even though you're driving on the road, the rain just splashes up in there. So that's why it's very important to clean this before you re-grease it. All right, so I'm gonna clean the inside of here real quick and clean these bars. And this is what I'm talking about, and I'll bring this closer to the camera. You can see all the grime and the dirt and all that. Well, that gets up in there, and that ends up, you know, removing the grease from there. So that's why it's very important to clean it nice before reinstalling your Hensley. Wow. I want to show you guys something. This is how good I greased it last time. Look how shiny that is still. That is an indication that you greased it very well the first time. Here's the other one right here. So now I'm going to get the correct size Allen wrench, and I'm going to remove the screw that's connecting the arms on both sides, and I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and I'm going to reinstall them real quick. All right, so I end up switching to a handheld Allen wrench because I needed the torque. So I'm not going to unscrew too much, just enough to remove this, so I don't want to lose my screw. And there it is right there. Look how greased that is. That's pretty good, but I'm going to remove this, set it aside. I'm going to actually bring it over here on my truck and clean it with everything else. Nice and clean. I'm also going to clean this side right here. Remove all the old grease. Time to just wipe it down, just to make sure that, you know, it's cleaner than you did it. This way you look like you did something. Look at that. Very nice. You can see the, you know, it's not bad. Always want to clean that. Don't lose these pins here. So I'm using this Hitch ball lubricant. I bought it on Amazon. It's waterproof. Let's open it. And it's actually white. Okay, so it's not really the black stuff that you've seen that I just wiped off. I like this clear stuff because it's not dirty, I guess. We're going to just dab a little bit all the way around it. No metal should be showing. Okay, I'll just go ahead and put it on and just wipe the rest off. Going to take our little knob here, just throw some, or a little, we're gonna throw some grease in there. We're going to install it like that. We're going to tighten it again. And make sure it's pushed all the way. So you push, push, and tighten. Just like that. And I can already tell, I can tell that it's easier. Wow. Okay, so this was actually, there's actually no grease at all here. And that really like bothers me because I did not maintain this the right way. I did not maintain it in a quick enough time like I should have maybe. So this right here has no grease. So we're gonna fix that, and this gives me another reason to do maintenance to the Hensley hitch more often. So when you're reinstalling the Allen wrench screw to attach this, there's a little hole in there, and I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. So if you look, when you install the screw, you want to make sure that screw goes inside that hole right there, because that stops it from popping out while you're driving. We're going to do that real quick. There we go. We are in that hole, and I know we are. And there we go. And we're just going to tighten that. We cleaned this, the ball that gets permanently attached to the hitch. We're going to grease this, put the Hensley back on the RV. All right, my favorite part. We get to put all this in here. Oh yes. This clear grease, look at that. So you want to make sure you get under, around, any color that you see like orange, just get a little bit under there too, just in case. Okay, so I put the hitch, the Hensley hitch in place. You will need help lifting this up. So I am going to get some help from my hydraulic lift to lift this up if you're by yourself. If I had Richie, it would not be a problem. We could just lift this up ourselves and I could click that and it would be done. So now I want to focus on that right there. Even though it's pinned, I'm going to remove it and just clean it up, get the dirt out, and grease it maybe a little bit. I'm actually going to just do one step at a time because I don't want to lose track where I am. So we're going to pull this pin out, and it doesn't look bad at all. So I'm going to leave it laying there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on. Good. So we're going to just squeeze that thing in there. We're going to put the pin back in. So this slides out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm always going to make sure I know how it goes back. So I'm going to do one at a time. So I'm going to place that there. I'm going to go ahead and clean the inside of here. Okay. Just remember, it goes like that because this has to get attached to the Hensley hitch. This goes over like this. And we're going to put it back inside. Just let it hang like that. We're going to do it on the other side right now. So this is how rusted it is. And that's what we're doing right now. We're wiping it away, and we're going to make sure we put enough grease on there so it doesn't have a chance to rust until the next maintenance. It's exactly what you want to do, like that. Just fill all the gaps in, all the threads with that grease. Gosh, I love this clear grease. Cool. So we'll put that back in. Okay, so we have everything in this section greased. I will get to what I do here. Usually I just spray some WD-40 and it falls down there. I mean, this I never had a problem with, but that's maybe the reason why, because I do spray some WD-40 down in there. And as you can see, it goes up and down. So maybe I'll throw some grease here just so it's easier. Okay, so basically we're gonna lift it and I'm just gonna clip it like that. Lift. Yep, this whole thing, watch your fingers. We're gonna, yeah, it's like slidey, so maybe you can like grab the arm here.
Oh,
perfect.
Okay, I got you, and just lock it down.
That's perfect right there. That's all I need.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate
you probably got more dirty here than you did over there.
No worries.
Hey, have a great day, man. Stay safe. Well, I will tell you one thing about North Carolina, and I'm not knocking any other state because I'm pretty sure you guys would help each other out too as well, but the gentleman here knew I needed help. He came over and he helped me install my Hensley, so I did not have to break out my hydraulic lift. Love North Carolina. So these grease knobs right there only are good when you need to grease your bar. Do you remember when I said both my bars were really greased and it didn't even scratch the paint? That means I grease these all the time, and that's what I meant by that. So instead of taking the whole bar out of here, you could just put grease inside here, and I use this grease gun. This grease gun actually greases a lot of things for us, so including my bearings around my tires and such as like that. So we are going to skip this process because I'm going to grease the arm bar, the bars that go in here. Hey guys, we just have a little bit more left. We are almost done here. I know this is probably a little longer than you thought, but I wanted to get into detail to make sure we do this correctly. Because I know how important it is to have a Hensley that works correctly. And if you don't do the maintenance to it, it is worthless because it's not gonna work at 100% capacity. So just stick with me, let's do this. We're almost done. I am just so excited that everything on this part is done, except I'm gonna throw some WD-40 in here. And this is done thanks to the gentleman that helped me out over here at the storage unit. We are gonna put our lock on because I do not wanna forget that lock. So the Hensley, when you put the ball or the Hensley hitch on, it's called a permanent mounting because you never have to take it off as long as you're maintaining your Hensley correctly. All right, so I'll put my lock on here because I don't want to forget that. There, this is done. It took me quite a few times to get these bars on. So let's see, I will do this live and let's see if I can do this the first time. I'm gonna grease it first. Oh yeah. Clean the inside of here because I do not wanna, yep, any junk and any sand and any road grime in there. So I'm gonna clean that. There we go. So right now, I'm going to install this to get this back up. I'm gonna put the pins always facing in. Oh, good thing it clouded up a little. A little warm. There, that's one. This is good. Let's go ahead and install the next one over. Might have to do some tweaking, like turning the Hensley and all that to get it in the right order. So, all right, so that's in, we're set there. I'm gonna change my gloves again. Remember, these get clipped into this. That's in. So we're gonna put the clips here. I'm actually going to order another one of this right here because I'm almost at the end and I'm almost finished. So, but I always would like some, I don't know, to hold on to, just in case I need to take one off and I need to re-grease it. Get this installed. Go. Wow, I did it. You know, I will tell you, if you can have somebody help you do this, this would be so much easier. I'm by myself. Richie had school today, so he's finishing up with school, but I managed. I didn't get my fingers pinched, which is very important. But thank you for that guy that just came by and helped me put this on. I would have used my hydraulic, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did. So I don't think we need this anymore. So we're gonna pop this off. And the Hensley should be already good enough. Take these greasy gloves off. Okay, so I have my torque wrench. I'm gonna set this to 45 foot-pounds, and that's the recommendation for your bolts that you're gonna have to tighten. So I have this set already, and we're going to tighten it. All right, so we have an 11/16. I believe that's what it is. It fits pretty good, so we're gonna use it. And we'll tighten those up right there. There's 2 of them, 2 here and 2 here, and also on the other side as well. So make sure you tighten it proper pounds per foot, and you should be all set here. So these are those the bag parts that I was telling you about that you always want to keep with you. For a second there, I thought I was going to need a part that I lost, but I ended up finding it behind the propane line there. So, but always keep a toolkit with you, and always keep this in that toolkit. This way you always have it accessible if you need it. So I have a can of silicone lubricant. And what I like to use this can for is to spray inside our stinger area where the stinger goes in, and it just makes it so much easier to pull in and out of it. And what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit of spray on this and let it just seep down through the hole around that nut there, and just so it could just screw in a lot more easier. And then I'll just spray this a little bit, you know, nothing big, and then I'll just make sure it just gets down in there and up and down. But I'll do that on both sides, and that's that. Now come over here and I will make sure I clean the inside of this as well. And I'll go ahead and spray in here. There we go. Oh, nice and clean. So now that I'm all wiped down, I'll make sure that this is level, this is good. And what I want to do is I want to tighten down these, but I want to make sure that I tighten down symmetrical, like in the installation video, because we had to unscrew these to take all this off. So what we want to do is we want to make these as tight as we can, maybe a half a turn tight, but these screws from here to here should be symmetrical on both sides. So once they're tightened, hand tightened, you can see it's pushing the Hensley hitch that way. So I'm going to measure from that bolt to this. It's an 2 inch 1/8, and I'm going to do the same here, and we are almost spot on. We are almost spot on right there. I'm going to leave it on this. We're gonna clip it in. This way that's locked in, and we are good. Always make sure that I put this back in. And if you have a little bit of grease left over, which we do, I would put it on the remainder of these so it doesn't rust. All right, so I screwed it both sides, and I made it level this way, and it is good. Now I want to make sure these are tightened again to make sure that once I leveled it, it didn't mess up the tension bars. Nope, worked out good. We are all done. So while I have you, I'm going to inspect it together. Good. We got the pin on this side. We got the pin here. We got the pin here. These are installed correctly. You can see all that clear grease. The lock is on. The pin is in here. The pin is right here, and the pin is in here, and this is also installed correctly. So pretty much we are done. Well guys, you guys don't need to be here while I'm cleaning up my mess and washing my hands. I want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for joining the T-Squad family. Once I always say it, and I always say welcome T-Squad, because you are part of the T-Squad family and you support our channel, and we really appreciate it. Once again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer them if you have any questions. Check out my friend's channel, Why Wait, Chris and Megan. A lot of good videos on their channel about RVing. And also check out to Max Your Journey, Alvin. Check him out, wonderful guy. Just so much fun through this RV community, and that's how it should be. But in the meantime, we will see y'all in the next video. Take it easy.